What did y'all think about Bail Organa swearing in Andor season 2? He said the S word. I didn't like it. I liked Benjamin Bratt though. He seemed to fit in very well. So this was in episode 9. Great episode overall, but I'm not gonna lie, as I say here, Bail Organa saying the S word really annoyed me just because it pulled me out of the moment. It was such a good moment. I was in the story, I was immersed in it, and him saying that just felt completely out of character. I talk about it that I hate when they do this in Star Trek too, but it makes even less sense in Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, I didn't want him to say like any Star Wars swear word either, because that definitely would have been weird too. You could have worded this sentiment any number of ways that still felt in character. It was such a departure, though, from who we know of Bail Organa. I think they have actually had the S word in Andor before, if I remember right. Wasn't it in season 1, the security company that Cyril worked for? Wasn't it one of the soldiers there that said it? I think it's been in here before. I just don't remember being caught off guard by it before, but in this moment, it broke immersion. It may seem like a nitpick. I know it does, probably. I treat anything that breaks immersion as a serious cinema sin. I was in this moment. It's a powerful moment right before she gives her big speech. And yeah, it took me out of it. I was like, oh, what? No. Benjamin Bratt was giving a really great performance. And I feel like his charisma and his presence were doing plenty to add gravitas and weight to that moment. That you didn't need it. It just didn't need to be in there. And I feel like it was just thrown in there. It didn't feel natural to the character. We can debate about English swear words, I guess, being used in Star Wars because they do speak English, but technically it's called basic. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to, does it feel organic to the character and the character that we know of in Bail, this stoic sort of diplomat who's calm and poised. And I just don't think it sounds good coming from him. Maybe it just depends on who was saying it. Tony Gilroy also wanted to have the F word in season 1, and I think it was supposed to be in the last speech. I think that's where he wanted to put it, like F the Empire or something like that. I think that would have been out of character too. I think that would have broken immersion then also. It almost felt like it was thrown in there, and again, kind of gimmicky, just to have him say it. And I don't like it in Star Trek too. I love Picard season 3, but I don't like the language in it. And Picard, it's like worse for his character because this is just so out of character for him to swear. We just never seen him do that before. It's not established for his character. And even more so in the world itself, they literally have it canon that swearing has fallen out of general use in the future. Star Trek Voyage Home comments on that. So it is literally canon that they just don't talk like that anymore. It's kind of alien to them when they're going back in the past and everyone's swearing. They're commentating on that. It's just how they used to talk back then. So with Star Trek, even if it's in our future, you can make the argument, okay, well, this is our future, so it makes sense for those swear words to be in there. But for general use, at least for Star Trek officers, it's just not common for them to swear like that. But for Star Wars, we're in a galaxy far, far away, and little things like this make a difference. The little things matter as far as world building goes and help you to be immersed in this galaxy far, far away. I know it's a nitpick, but it does a lot to keep you immersed in this world that is definitely different. And there's a lot of other things too that they don't have. They don't play poker. They play sabacc. They have credits. And there's lots of little things like that. They don't have paper. They use flimsoplast or Durasheets. That's another thing for paper, I think. Stuff like that. There's just all these little things. Coffee is called calf. And we're surrounded by different languages and alien creatures. If it takes you out of the story, that's a big sin in my mind. It'd be like Yoda saying the F word. Established characters that we know that just wouldn't say that. And I know a lot of people also point to Han Solo saying the word hell in Empire Strikes Back. I just don't know if that's like the same thing because that never broke immersion for me. So the circumstances of it were he comes back to the base on Hoth and Luke hasn't come back yet. Temperatures are dropping, so it's getting dangerous for Luke to be out. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go back out then. I'm going to find Luke. And they're saying temperatures are dropping too rapidly. Tauntauns aren't adapting to the cold. Your tauntaun is going to die soon. It's just not acclimated to the temperature. And he said, well, I'll see you in hell. It's actually not a swear word when used in that context. If you were to say go to hell or something like that, that definitely has more of a connotation of a swear. But in this case, and in this context, it was just used to sort of indicate that there is a concept of an afterlife, which isn't necessarily out of place for even the Star Wars universe, where we know an afterlife is a thing for Force sensitive beings. And also, it wasn't out of place for the character. I thought, he's rough, he's a scoundrel, he shoots first. So it didn't seem out of place for him to say that at all. So it never took me out of it as far as the story. That's just all I'm saying is don't just have it in there just to say, hey, look, isn't it funny that Bail Organa said this? Don't treat it as a gimmick. Make it natural to the universe and your characters. That's the thing you have to consider too. And it actually reminded me in Dune Part 2, I don't know if y'all remember, there is an F word in it. And that was a subject of conversation. I think Josh Brolin commented on it, that he actually convinced Denis Villeneuve to have the F word in it. It was during that scene where we first see Gurney in Dune Part 2. He's with the smugglers and they're about to harvest the spice, and the Fremen start attacking them. They shoot down one of their harvesters, and as the harvester is going down, that's when Josh Brolin says the F word. Apparently, Denis Villeneuve wanted a different swear word in it, that it was a Canadian swear word that's common for Canadians to use. Josh Brolin had a hard time with that. He's like, nah, I just don't think that feels good. That doesn't sound like something I would say. It sounds like it would take people out of the moment. I think he actually said that to Denis. Wouldn't that take people out of the story, out of the movie? And they did say it. They did shoot it where he said that Canadian swear word. And then he came to the conclusion, yeah, I guess it doesn't work. So they went with the F word. And yeah, that didn't feel out of place for me. That itself didn't break immersion when Gurney says it. This is one of those universes for Dune that it is set in our distant future. So to have swear words that are in use in the English language, that's not out of place for the world itself. It also made sense, I guess, that Gurney would say that. Hardened, war master, very gruff. And also the scene itself, in the context of the scene, they were being set upon by the Fremen. The Fremen were attacking them. So it was a very dramatic scene. So even they yeah, I think this is going to take people out of it. Let's just not go that way. It makes a difference. If it's going to take people out of it, then don't do it. And even then for Star Wars and for Bail Organa, even if he said a swear word in Huttese or some other language within Star Wars, I don't think that would have made sense either. Because he's never done that before. It's just not part of his character and personality. But I think any other sort of word could have been used, something that felt more in line with his character, that still had the sentiment that he was conveying to Mon Mothma. Towards the end of Andor and the last moment with Bail Organa, I did love that with Benjamin Bratt, where he said, "May the Force be with you," before he leaves. It was so good. Definitely a shining moment for him.